straight? Do I look straight? Thank you. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Freshly Tan, and I know it's been about 2 months since I made my last video. Let me briefly explain why. So if you watched my last video, you would know that we got evacuated from the island. I've been back in the US for about 2 months now, since mid-March, and for the last 2 months what I've been doing is just finishing up school, because we had school exams up until last Thursday. No, wait, yes, correct. Last Thursday. And so up until then, I've been studying for school as well as trying to prepare for STEP. The way I've been doing that is I've been sticking with my schedule in terms of the main things I absolutely needed to do. And let me explain what those are. So the 3 things that I absolutely had to do, and for me personally and the way I learn, is to complete Boards and Beyond, to complete Pathoma, and to complete First Aid. It would have been nice if, oh yeah, and my schedule's right here by the way. So it would have been nice if I was able to review Farm every Friday. It would also have been nice if I was able to consistently review Micro, and it would have been even better if I was able to accomplish all the practice questions that I have laid out in my schedule right here. So I'm just gonna briefly go over my schedule. Just gonna read it out to you, I guess. So like I mentioned, the first 3 things, Boards and Beyond, Pathoma, First Aid, done. In terms of questions, I managed to get through maybe around 80% of USMLE RX questions. I did not do any past tests. After I left, I did not do any AMBOSS. I didn't do any Kaplan. I didn't do any UWorld. I basically didn't do any of the questions really, except for RX that I listed in my schedule. The number 1 most important thing that I felt that worked for me is variable interval learning. And so the way I did that is I would do Boards and Beyond based on the organ systems that my school was going to test us on for the upcoming exam. After I finished Boards and Beyond, I would do Pathoma. Pathoma only covers the pathology part of it, but it's a very important part of the USMLE, so obviously you have to do it. After doing Pathoma, I would do First Aid. So really Pathoma and Boards and Beyond were kind of like my first pass of things. And my second pass was annotating First Aid into Boards and Beyond. And if you're wondering why I did it that way, watch one of my early videos. I explain, I think pretty extensively, given the length of my videos, why I did it that way. And then after I finished annotating First Aid in, I would start doing practice questions. One thing I did add to this schedule actually is that I added Sketchy in there. And I probably should have done that earlier. Nevertheless, I finished Sketchy and I went through it once and I finished that just a few days ago. This is my dedicated study schedule. I'm gonna attempt to do an NBME every Monday. I might or may not change it depending on how tired that makes me, because if I'm doing an NBME exam on Monday, but that kind of ruins my Tuesday and Wednesday, that's something that I can't afford this early on. Right now for me, I still need to learn material. That brings me to my third point. So the third point, if you can see on my schedule right here, it says UWorld Tuesday to Saturday, 3 blocks a day starting June 2nd. So June 2nd is about a week from now. The reason I'm doing it a week from now is because this week I need to annotate in biochem for First Aid into my notes. Hopefully that will stay in my memory for 2 months and then out the window it goes. And I'm doing 3 blocks a day because I realistically think this is what I can do while staying fresh mentally, while being able to learn the material that I got wrong. I initially wanted to do 4 blocks a day because I can do 4 blocks a day. It would only take me about 4 or 5 hours, but I think the reviewing part takes a lot longer than taking the exam, and I don't think it's realistic for me to review 4 blocks fully. My 4th point, okay. So I plan to spend 2 full weeks only because I'm trying to give myself more wiggle room. And the way I organize my dedicated is I played it safe, so I can guarantee myself that I will be able to finish what I listed here. The hope is that I will have more time at the end to do more practice questions. So I'm gonna spend 2 weeks about midway. In midway, I'm gonna review my notes. And my notes, by notes I mean my Boards and Beyond files, because everything Pathoma, First Aid is all in there. All the high yield points, all the explanations that I wrote down for myself, I put it all on Boards and Beyond, just based on how I work. Some people can go through it once or twice and they'll be good, but I'm not that talented, unfortunately. One thing I do think I can do this time is review Micro every day. But now that I've done Sketchy, I need to go through it again, so I'll probably rewatch all the videos start to finish one more time hopefully I can do that in about 2 weeks. And yeah, so that's just a quick update. I'm definitely trying to make my videos shorter, so I know they're very long. Watching myself for like 10 minutes must be pretty torturing. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, so my next video that I want to make probably be about investing as a medical student and how to make money while you're in medical school. I mean, I know there are a lot of ways, you know, they're like, you can be a tutor, You can be a TA, you can be an RA. Wait, no, RA doesn't exist anymore. That's undergrad. You can be a TA, you can do online tutoring. If you have any side businesses, these are all, I would say, more specialized and individualized for the person, things that they are more talented in, and kind of really using your talent and getting some monetary value out of your talent. But what I'm going to be talking about is how to invest as a casual student, casual person, where I've been putting my money, where I'm going to put my money in the future, and what I think are really good places for long-term growth. Yeah, just a lot more is coming up in the future, so stay tuned. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you 22 subscribers for watching these videos. Catch you in the next one.